To explain this, think about it as a reality show.
We've been checking social media and it seems like things are going well. Las Vegas Boulevard between Blue Diamond and Warm Springs is shut down. This is the entrance to this open off-road area, and we saw a number of Keystone Light beer cans.
I think anyone with a 401k right now has a headache because the stock market just seems so volatile.
It seems like the question that is brought up here is, who does the Pope care about more? People in developing nations that are poor, or the Western nations that are rich?
Why are we calling Donald Trump, why is your organization calling him the freedom candidate?
Well, we feel that, Donald Trump has some, unique ideas.
Donald Trump has called many Latinos, the most famous quote is Mexicans are rapists. I mean, he has certainly created a narrative where many different cultures, he labels them, he writes them off as a group as a whole. He wants to consider not letting any Muslim into this country until there's a methodology developed to determine if they're terrorists or not. You agree with that?
This is kind of the handiwork that came from such a tough tragedy.
Yes, it took, unfortunately, our daughter passing away for people to really realize that this area is a problem.
After months of mourning the loss of little Mia Decker, her mom, Michelle Terry, along with this close-knit North Las Vegas community, raised money to install these extra signs and these flashing lights, the hopes that the tragic accident that took Mia's life would never happen again.
All right, so let's try this.
All right.
This is good to see people stopping, isn't it? Thank you guys.
Except for you!
Oh my gosh, even still.
Wow!
What just happened, almost too emotional to bear. Mia's mother, her sister, and myself hit the newly designed crosswalk. We began crossing, and in the exact same lane and fashion as her little daughter got hit and killed, a truck sped past 3 other stopped cars. If we had been just feet ahead, we would have been hit.
Am I right? Isn't that the same lane where she ran? What we just saw was almost the exact scenario.
It was the same lane, yep. Yeah, and I've had this very, very often. This has happened over here to me.
Yeah,
and usually it's the same lane, and that's the part that scares me.
Yeah, because the people on the other side stopped, just like they did with your daughter, and that one person just kept going.
So while there could be anger, frustration, or even rage, instead, there was just this heart-clenching, somber sadness. Because on the day when Mia Decker's legacy was remembered with steps towards caution, front and center, we saw there is still much more work ahead.
You see on the news constantly that somebody is getting hit, they're not dying, or sadly they're passing away, and those are things you never want to have to read about, because it makes you, as a parent that this has already happened to, you relive it all over again.
You're saying this happened right here where we stand?
Right. The vehicle was about right here.
Right.
And there was probably 4 cop cars, a K-9 unit.
To get a better understanding of what happened early Saturday morning, we asked Barry Sandroff to go over every detail of what he saw when police encountered this alleged car thief who wouldn't give up. He told us he saw the whole thing go down on his balcony from his apartment across the street.
I saw her going up with her hands for surrender. And when she got out of the car, she went to put her hands up like she was surrendering, and then the police just went off, just started shooting away.
Did they yell, "Drop your weapon"?
No, there was no put down the weapon, put down the weapon. As soon as she took her second step out of the vehicle, they just started firing.
But police tell an entirely different story. In this release to the media, they describe the entire scenario as beginning with a 911 call where a caller reported a car stolen by someone the caller knew. Police say when they encountered the alleged thief, she barricaded herself in the car and would not obey commands to come out. Police responding by calling in SWAT and crisis negotiators to try to defuse the situation, but it was only after she pointed a gun at officers that 5 of them fired, killing her. Another woman spoke to News 3 even earlier in the day. She said the woman never reached for a weapon.
You could see that her hands were still on her head as she was exiting out of the car.
And you say she didn't have a gun in her hand?
No, there was nothing that I saw in her hand at all.
Sandroff said what was the most shocking to him was how police officers responded just seconds after the shooting.
I seen several officers laughing, kind of high-fiving like a home run, hitting a home run, and they're outside the dugout congratulating everybody. And here's a dead woman in the middle, a woman dying, and their CPR, and officers are laughing.